Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and today we're going to do a quick what's in the box kit review on my attack hobby kits Tatra T-87 in the 1/72nd scale. Now when it comes to 1/72nd scale I tend to really be kind of more interested in aircraft, although I have actually got a sort of small selection of armoured fighting vehicles in 1/72 and I might do some again in the future. But I was buying an aircraft from somebody off eBay a couple of weeks back, and what I normally do is I normally just flick in to see what else they've got for sale, just to see if there's anything that takes me fancy. And I came across this and I kind of thought, oh, I kind of know this car. It's that sort of semi-luxurious limousine that was made in the Czech Republic that has the front that kind of looks a little bit like a Beetle. It was only £12 plus the share of the postage for the other kit that I was going to buy. So I kind of thought, well, I'll have that because it's kind of interesting and kind of, I don't know whether you can say it's hard to find. There are a couple available on eBay at the moment, but the money I paid is kind of the going rate. I mean, the kind of one that's available at the moment is £12.99 plus postage, and there's another one up for £22. So I know I got a reasonable deal on it. Now I had a look on Scale, which is kind of what I normally do. And this kit is from a new mould produced in 2001. And obviously this is done up in Allied colours with the sort of American star and the British RAF roundels. And it does actually say on Scale Mates, it has a reference to Lieutenant Paul Fleming. I can't really find anything out, but to be honest, I haven't really looked that deeply into it. I can't really find anything about Lieutenant Paul Fleming, but the only additional thing I can find out that it says Norway 1942. So I'm not quite sure whether this was a car that was in Norway that was taken on by this Lieutenant Fleming, or whether this was captured sort of later on in the Czech Republic. I don't really know, so I kind of think I might do a little bit more digging around to try to figure out what the hell was going on, because a Czech car in Norway in 1942 with white stars on it and RAF roundels is kind of a bit of an oddity. So if I do find any more out, I'll probably check in with you and let you know. What I'm going to do, because there's no real information on this rather fascinating automobile in the instructions, I'm just going to read a quick passage off Wikipedia. So the Tatra T-87 is a car built by Czechoslovak manufacturer Tatra from 1936 to 1950. It was powered by a rear-mounted 2.9 litre air-cooled 90-degree overhead cam V8 engine that produced 85 horsepower and could drive the car at nearly 100 miles per hour or 160 kilometres an hour. It is ranked amongst the fastest production cars of its time. Competing cars in this class, however, used engines with almost twice the displacement and with fuel consumption of 20 litres per 100 kilometres or 11.8 miles per gallon. Thanks to its aerodynamic shape, the Tatra 87 had a consumption of just 12.5 litres per 100 kilometres or 18.8 miles per gallon. After the war between 1950 and 1953, the T-87s were fitted with more modern 2.5 litre V8 T603 engines. The 87 was used by Hans Kalka and Zimund for their travel through Africa and Latin America from 1947 to 1950. And Yuri Hazelka and Miroslav Zikmund were a duo of Czech adventurers known for their travels in Africa, Asia and Latin America in the 1940s and 50s, and wrote a series of books on it. And they did that in this kind of limousine, which is kind of probably not very familiar to anyone. So anyway, there's it's kind of a fascinating little subject that I've just been clicking on. Just to give you a sort of idea of what this car looks like in the sort of flesh, if you like. There we go, there's one, and as you can see, it's kind of got a limousine sort of back with this kind of interesting, I don't know, kind of tail fin. It looks a bit like a shark or something. But as you can see, it kind of does have a striking similarity to a sort of Beetle. So it kind of looks like a Beetle attached to one of those Citroens that I can't remember the number of. But yeah, fascinating little car, interesting little kit. Quite happy to have paid 12 quid for it. So anyway, let's have a look at the instructions for this, and they're kind of basic. I've got some rather nicely yellowed paper So as we can see, we've got a picture on the front here of the full sorts of schematics of the vehicle itself, with its rather powerful engine in the back. And then we've got a rather rudimentary sort of sprue diagram with the numbers attached. There's not that many pieces, looks to be 32 pieces in total. So shouldn't go together that difficult way as I thought. Section 1, we're going to put the two sides of the body together. Section 3, we're going to put that really aerodynamic shaped sort of boot, or because it's a rear mounted engine, is it the bonnet? I'm not really too sure. Appears to have a rather large sunroof in the roof, which is kind of unusual, I suppose, for a vehicle of that age. Here's our bonnet going on with its 3 headlights. And then we're going to put the glazing in. We're going to put the partition section in between the rear passenger compartment and the engine. We're going to attach the kind of a subframe or chassis, but it's just really a floor panel. We're going to attach our rather basic wheels and axles to that. Seats on, steering wheel and console in, and then we attach this base to the car body. Number 7, we're going to put some bumpers on. Number 8, we're going to put some bumpers and possibly a couple of lights on as well. And that's about it. And then we've got a sort of decal sort of positioning chart for RAF Lieutenant Paul Fleming. There we go. Yeah, it's fascinating. I'm going to have to do some research on this and have a look, because it's kind of interesting. And then we've got sort of, oh, this is Norway. Oh, so this is where the Norway 42 comes into it, because this is General Lieutenant Kuna. Still don't know what Lieutenant Paul Fleming's doing with this car, though. It does have RAF number plates on it, so maybe he's got this and it's in the UK. I don't know. Right, okay. So we've only got 4 little sprues, so I'm going to bring them right up to the camera so you can see them. So this is the floor plan here. This is the undersurface. I'm kind of guessing. No, that's the interior surface there. So it's kind of looks like it's got some sort of basic sort of carpet going on there. So that's the undersurface, and we can see sort of like the exhaust maybe. That's where the booty sort of bonnet, and there's like a rear access hatch, an underneath access hatch to the engine. We've got 4 wheels which have got some tread on them. And we have this rather fantastic rear bonnet boot, whatever you want to call it, with some sort of air vents going on. That looks like a part that you can put into here for the sunroof, or you can put, oh no, so it doesn't have a sunroof. So it doesn't have a sunroof, it just has a sort of, yeah, so it's got a sunroof, so but it's just not a glazed one like I thought it was. Okay. Sorry, there we go. So that goes on there like that. That piece goes in there. So there we go. Problem solved. So here's the bonnet with our centrally mounted headlamp. We've got our seats, which have got some sort of patterning on them. We've got our driver's console, and we can quite clearly see some dials on there. And we've got a couple of foot pedals that we can see. Nice little steering wheel. Number plates maybe. Not too sure. They're going to be the wheel hubs and drive shafts and what have you. There's our other 2 headlamps, and don't know what that is. There we go. So this is the partition between the driver's compartment and the engine. So it's got a little glazed piece in here, and I'm guessing you're supposed to just paint over the rest of this. And then we've got our side windows, and here we've got our front glazing. Seem to get 2 pieces. Don't know why. And we've got some little headlights there as well. And then the most exciting part, which is the actual body. So as you can see, we've got some quite clear detail for some hinges, door handles, tiny bit of flash, nothing too much of a big deal, I don't think. There's not really an awful lot more going on because it's such a small vehicle, but you can actually see it's got representations of the interior door cards in there as well, with a kind of little sort of side pocket for putting your smokes in, I suppose, or a pistol or your pipe. So yeah, got a little decal sheet, and as we can see, this one is for the RAF, comes with the white stars and with some RAF roundels. This one is off, obviously, the Luftwaffe 1 from General, whatever his name was, that served in Norway. And then we've got a set of Czech markings as well. Don't know what those little flags are there, though. Kind of interesting. Maybe need to find out. Maybe should have done a bit more research before we did the video. Okay, so that's where we are with that. If you've been looking at the channel recently, kind of hoping that you might have seen some of Mikey's model barn, which was a very nice chap that I went to visit last week. He has a rather staggering collection of 5,000 model kits in an old piggery. I was literally like the proverbial pig rolling around in Scheisse, you know, sort of having a look at his models. And there's a bunch of sort of, I'm sorry to say, 25 videos that I made, sort of 12 minutes long. So they're going to be sort of released over the coming weeks and months. Next week, I'm hoping to finally start, I was supposed to start like last week or the week before, what I'm calling my big plan, which is hopefully going to kind of explain to you guys why I've been buying so many kits. And I know it kind of irritates some people that, you know, this guy keeps on putting model hauls on his channel, but there is a plan behind it. The plan is called Big Plan, and it's going to be a set of thematic series where I introduce 6 thematically related kits every week. I do a what's in the box for them, and then I open the floor to you guys and say, which one should we build? And then you guys will hopefully tell me in the comments bar, and then I'll get along to build it a couple of days after we've done the videos. And then about a week or so later, we'll just repeat the process. And hopefully, at some point in the next 8 to 16 years, I might finally get through the bulk of the 500 model kits that I seem to have amassed over the past 7 months. And I might just figure out how to become a half-decent model maker. Who knows? Or maybe I'll just be forever stuck in the Muppet who makes models badly sort of theory. So anyway, that's 12 minutes. You've listened to me waffle on for long enough now, I am sure. If you didn't click out 10 minutes ago, that is. So please do like and subscribe. Check out some more of our other videos that we have up, including 150 odd what's in the boxes, the whole series of Mikey's model barn, which will be drip fed to you over the next coming weeks and months. And we might get around to starting this big plan thing that I've been waffling on about for the past 2 months at least. So, as always, be seeing you.